What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 with our Italian campaign. We have secretly conquested most of Africa, and obviously we are pushing into the Caribbean. We have taken Bermuda, except we took that last episode, and of course we did down and take Puerto Rico as well, building up an airbase and some radar stations. Looking at our construction queue, we are going to try to go ahead and obviously build up our naval superiority and, production here. However, we are starting to get to the point where we're probably going to want to deal with a lot more light tanks and a lot of other production as well. So we do have a lot of convoys. I think what we're going to do is start building up another light cruiser. You know what? Should I do another carrier? I think I will. This is the Carrier 1 class, and all we're going to do, I don't know if this is actually going to get produced at all, but what we're going to try to do is build one of those inside Latium, shift U on up. It's going to require about 30 oil, and surprisingly enough, that's all the oil we actually have. Taking a quick glance, let's throw in some oil refineries inside the Alps. Now, are those going to be produced in time? Absolutely not, but I am going to shift one up for now. So we're doing a lot of building of our naval factories, but one thing that I do want to do is we're building up our light tank production, at least for now. Eventually, we're going to shift on over to heavy tanks, but I don't think we're going to actually build those heavy tanks until we research the P-43, and maybe even this modern tank, 1945. I mean, if we got those, we would be able to produce a lot of them very quickly and very efficiently. We have a lot of steel, we have a lot of chromium, but unfortunately this is going to take about a year from now to actually start producing those. Let's actually, you know what, let's start producing the heavy tanks. I get that we might not necessarily put them to good use anytime soon, but I have a lot of light tanks, and I do want to go ahead and start utilizing all of our steel and all of our tungsten. Excuse me, all of our steel and all of our chromium. In the meantime, I definitely do not need the synthetic refinery anymore. As I start building up more and more naval factories, I am going to have to use some of that oil, but we have a massive surplus right now, and we are trying to just grow our naval presence in the Caribbean, though it is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Did I lose all of my units? No. This unit never made its way down, so let's take these 11... and try to take out the Windward Islands. It looks like we damaged their infrastructure, but I would really like to secure this entire area. Can I get any colonial troops to protect this area? Probably. And it looks like we are doing well, but now we're seeing a little bit of negative bonuses. Or negative penalties, I should say. Pronto. Now, it looks like some troops are making their way down to Puerto Rico, but they aren't necessarily making it all the way to where they need to be. We need 11 troops here to basically protect all of the naval bases. Technically, we now need 6, and we are producing 8. So therefore, we will have 10 in total. We never actually took the Windward Islands, which makes me nervous. What if, with these 24... I don't know if that's the best way to do this. I'll figure it out in time. I could go ahead and send all 24 units and basically only garrison this particular area. Are these guys going to move? I don't know. And the idea is if I could remove all of these threats from the Caribbean, I could then jump to Jamaica and then jump to the Turks and Caicos and just continue building up this naval presence. We're actually taking out some destroyers and some light cruisers. The U.S. probably doesn't have that many troops left or that many naval vessels left. Still building up a lot of our Southwest African radar stations, obviously in Puerto Rico as well. We are building more and more dockyards, and it looks like one carrier won't be done for 4 years. Here's our convoy escorts. Do we want better bombers? Probably. they can actually do a lot of close air support, naval strikes. I think we're going to start building these up. 143 days. And in the meantime, all 24 of these units are now going to make their way here. And it looks like most of them are here. Everybody's going to swing on down, remove this protection. And we're now a level 5 leader, or level 5 general. Once we have all 24, I have no idea if this will work, but we can obviously try our best. It looks like we're winning, though I am a little curious if this is even sustainable. And what I will probably do is send 12 to Jamaica, 12 to the Panama Canal. And it looks like, even though we have air superiority, we are fighting against a fort. This is a level 2 coastal fort. I'm going to actually resend in these light tanks. All we need to do is whittle away their morale. I don't know how many troops are here, which makes me a little saddened as well. Can I send on any planes? I think I have a few over here already. Maybe I could send in an infantry troop, get a little bit of experience. So I have a lot of unread naval battles, only one actually. And we sunk a destroyer, but unfortunately they are so easy to produce, it really wasn't that big of a deal. They have tanks here, so maybe that's why we're not doing well. Let's actually go ahead and resend in these tanks. If we keep applying pressure, I don't think they can continue to grow. Gonna send in these 7. And so they don't have that much organization left. It should tick away eventually. Obviously, they might be winning, but the idea is some of these guys, especially these defenders, they're probably going to die sometime soon. It says it's only going to last another 7 days. Our very first division is about to die. 3.3 organization. Sending everybody in once again. Now their organization is even higher. I kind of want to go down to speed 4 because eventually some people aren't going to be able to keep pushing. As long as this tank gets the organization it needs, I think we could eventually start winning. This has full organization. I'm going to send it on over. And all that's left is one division, with the organization slowly dissipating. This is obviously taking a lot longer than it needs to. Is there anything else that I could be doing right now? The game is currently paused. We are building up our radar stations inside Puerto Rico. It's going to go from this to that, so it's going to look a lot nicer in just a second. We have a lot of radar inside the Atlantic, which makes me very happy. And we are dealing with the United States eventually. All that's left is about 17 organizations. Somehow they were able to stop us from advancing. And all I really need is just a few tanks with full organization. Don't really know the best way to go about that. Okay, this guy's going to make its way over. All 6 of these guys can now make their way over with low organization. They're down to about 10.8, so I don't think they can really last for that much longer. I guess we're going to resend in these troops. Maybe they can get some experience. While we're waiting, everybody's gaining a little bit of organization, a little bit of morale. They can't really grow while they're being attacked, so they're down to 10.7 organization, and they're slowly dissipating. I'm hoping this will work. It says it's going to last. We're going to finally win a war. Doesn't really feel like it, though. Or finally win this naval invasion. Sending in these troops again. Maybe they can get some experience. And all that's left is about 6.2 organization, and it's drastically being dropped. Can we defeat this tank? I wonder what type of tank it is. It's a medium tank, and we have a bunch of light tanks, so it obviously has a lot of armor, therefore we don't do a lot of damage. Let's go ahead and send these 10 again. And it says it's going to be less than a day. Finally, We have been successful. Let's go ahead and split these guys in half. 12 of you are going to go down to the Panama Canal. And then these 12 are going to try to head to Jamaica. So there to there, and it's going to take around 16 days to prepare, which I don't mind. It's not that big of a deal. We are slowly losing more and more manpower, which makes me incredibly nervous, but we are building up our heavy tank production very slowly, I might add. And basically, these 10.4 thousand light tanks are eventually going to dissipate over time because we're not really building any more. I don't see any real naval invasions except in Southwest Africa. We don't have a lot of supply. And all of our new units are going to head down to Africa. All you're going to do is these military police are going to gear up South Africa, try to do a lot of protection. I don't know how many units we actually need. So we've got 10 and we need 4. Let's protect these areas inside the Congo. And the idea is just try to prevent the factories from breaking down. And I don't know. We got a lot of chromium, surprisingly enough. All we need to do now is build up our actual military production, which we seem to have stopped. Everybody is doing well. We are continuing to grow. Did our carrier ever finish? I guess that's the question. We have 7 units and a carrier. Let's put you a level 3 admiral. And what I want to do is send you on down to Puerto Rico. That is going to be your base of operations. I am not even in the Caribbean. Let's send you down to Puerto Rico. And the idea is we are going to search and destroy here, here, and I guess the Demerara Plain. And we've got radar. However, I wouldn't mind building up another naval base and pushing that to the top. You know, it'll be a little bit better for repairs. Do I expect us to get annihilated? I don't know. But we are doing a lot of damage. And we're sinking a lot of their carriers, which makes me happy as well. And a lot of their expensive ships. So another thing that we're waiting on is a lot of our heavy tanks. We only have, well, we have about 907 now. Was not expecting to have that many. Trying to see if there's anything else. Coup inside Romania. I'm hoping that the German Reich will deal with the UK and I can deal with the US. I don't know exactly how this will work in our favor, but obviously we are going to try to do a naval invasion from the Bahamas to southern Florida into Miami, and then just push on up through Miami as much as we can. We are also going to need a lot more units. I would like around 48, and we are going to send over these 24 as well. We're going to do 2 separate naval invasions, probably one from Puerto Rico, one from Jamaica, and we're going to have 24 plus 24 plus 48, and then probably another 24 to have 72 divisions in total. Now, I have no idea how many light tanks, or excuse me, how many heavy tanks that will require, but it's going to be a lot, and it's going to require a lot of motorized, which we don't seem to have that many of, but eventually we will produce more and more. Air skirmish has been unlocked. Let us go ahead and begin working on bomber defense. Don't really need it. Air support mission efficiency would be nice, but we are going to get better organization. Our best idea would be probably to get mobile warfare, but then we would lose everything. You know what? I think that's going to be our #1 priority. Switching on over. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we did that. But anyway, starting to work on delay. The idea is we're going to have a lot of tanks and not necessarily a lot of manpower. So what we need to do is start working on a lot of those improvements. I can't believe we just switched over, but it does need to happen because we're going to be building a lot of tanks. Also, this man is only good for Grand Battle Plan. Should I switch on over to like a naval theorist or air warfare? Rocket scientist, that might be good. I don't know. We're also working on air production. I don't really have any regular units. We have a naval and an air warfare. We don't have an actual ground person for 150. So, do we want the naval theorist? Probably. It would be very, very cheap to get our naval doctrines up, and obviously we need those. Let's go ahead and finally begin our actual invasion of both the Panama Canal and Jamaica. And I do want to see these radar stations. We have a level 5, about to be level 6 inside Puerto Rico. Eventually, we are going to be pushing on into Miami. And it might not be such a bad idea to build a level 6 radar station in Panama, if we can even make it. So we have some fighting going on, and we are annihilating a lot of the U.S. fleets. Surprisingly enough, this looks like it was a defeat. But, I don't know. About to take over Jamaica, supposedly, kind of, maybe. And here comes Panama. So, we've landed, I think. And now we're going after Jamaica. Mass strikes have been unlocked. Let us continue working on the floating fortress. I don't know if we're going to be able to take Panama. We could certainly try, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a success, as they have a lot of defense, and these are really only light tanks and motorized. But nevertheless, we could try another mass assault from either Puerto Rico or Jamaica. Yeah, they just have too many troops. How many heavy tanks do we have? About 1.2 thousand. So I wonder, can I take all of these units, which I'm guessing are... I'm going to make them into my Russian... I don't know. How about I label this the U.S. Edit, duplicate, and title this the U.S. Defense. And what I want to do is add a heavy tank regiment. I went from 1.2 thousand all the way to... Oh, you know what? I gotta switch over all of these men. One second, we are still preparing. All 24 of you are going to be geared up and sent down. You will all become the U.S. Defense. How many heavy tanks do we have now? 300. And so the idea is I am going to hopefully plow through their defenses. And it's going to take a while. And now we have an out-of-supply commando, which is pretty good. It's going to take 33 days to send us on down. Looking at our research, we do want to eventually start working on better support companies. Maybe a better... I don't know if we need signal companies, but I would like better maintenance companies in time. And looking at the U.S. Defense, because that's what all of these are going to become, let's switch this over to maintenance, only because I would like more reliability and not have them being destroyed as often. How long will it take to finally arrive? I don't know. But I do need to take the Panama Canal, and it is going to be a bit of a pain. All of these units are finally ready. And therefore, you will go down to the Italian Theater 2. Yikes. Maybe even the Italian Theater 3. Which will eventually become the Caribbean Theater. I'm going to send you to Jamaica. I'm going to remove 6 of you, put you in a new group, and hopefully send you down to Puerto Rico for now. And I'll eventually move them over to where they need to be. I guess they could all go to Jamaica. But I do know that these 6 units do need to be remaneuvered eventually. Okay, we are still building up our naval presence. However, we're finally shifting gears to our heavy tank production. Not only do I want to build the P-43, but I really want to get the P-45, which is now our modern tank. It's going to take about another 180 days, though, which is kind of sad. But we're building up a lot of heavy tanks. We technically have around 511. And it says we're losing a lot of light tanks. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But, you guys, what are you missing? So, it says 1,300 manpower will arrive in about 20 hours. And now, what we're still waiting on are some heavy tanks, I think. We have 40 P26, I think. I don't know. Obviously, we still need to do a little bit of waiting because we are beginning to organize a little bit of anything and everything. And our most powerful leader, Rodolfo Graziani, is unfortunately only level 4, so that makes me a little nervous. And this guy is a general as well. So Rodolfo is our very powerful leader. I think what I'm going to do is, I hate to be that guy, but this guy needs to be promoted to a field marshal. I hate to do that. He's level 7, he'll become level 6. And so the idea is he lost all of these traits, but he is going to get stronger and stronger, and now he can lead an unlimited amount of troops, and so therefore an unlimited amount of units will become very powerful as well. We are fighting Canada, sinking a lot of carriers and a lot of battle cruisers. I'm surprised that we're doing well. And how long until we are good to go? We are going to have new units in about 210 hours, and it's going to be roughly 33 days to get all of our units where they should be. Should I exercise these units? I don't think I should. I'm very happy now that we have actual light tanks. We are still building another carrier. I'm wondering if we really need those carriers anymore. We probably could get something a little bit cheaper, like some light cruisers. But nevertheless, I think that's going to be our goal. It's almost the 1st of January 1945. The P-43 has been unlocked. Let's go ahead and switch over production. P-43, 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 and P-43. So now I get that they're producing not as fast, but they are obviously far superior. And finally, we are going to start the P-45, 181 days. And then I definitely want to pump out as many of those as we can. I have 150 political power. We don't really need any manpower just yet, so we're going to go ahead and get the daily fascism support, and all of this democratic ideology, is going to go away. Did we need that at all? Not really, but the idea is it's going to tick away. So we're working on these better bombers. We stopped working on jet engines, which is sad. We should have had them by now. But I guess we don't really need them. How long until we can actually activate this plan? We could do it right now. I guess we will try. Now that we actually have heavy tanks, it might work out in our favor. And much like before, so I'm going to add these 24 and these 24 together, and I'm going to need another 24 eventually. So let's make the U.S. defense add another 24 as quickly as we can. We are going to run out of light tanks eventually. We only have 509 right now. Yikes, now we're at negative 4,000. So once this is successful, I'll go ahead and remove a few light tanks, and we can try our best from that angle. How is this advancement going? Slightly slow. And I think what I'm going to do is make all of these units into the U.S. defense. And now, looking at the U.S. defense, I'm going to remove some light tanks and save. And now we are down 1,000 heavies, probably going to be down a few more. And we have 12.6 thousand light tanks. That makes me very confused and a little concerned. But those are going to get destroyed in time. Let's put another light tank back and really just see how this works. Our naval invasion is about to take place. We have actual heavy tanks. I don't know if they are going to be successful. Okay, research slot available. We absolutely need to start working on rocket engines, and therefore we will get jet engines in time. That was a complete failure. Why was that a failure? I don't know. But let's stop and reactivate in just a second. We're down to about 554,000 manpower. Everybody else in the south is pushing to a variety of areas. Night vision has been unlocked. We are still working on better and better improvements. All motorized and mechanized now get heart attack and piercing. Don't think I want that because I would rather have better maintenance companies. Okay, anything that I need to build, we have 120,000 infantry equipment. We're lacking a lot of motorized, which makes me concerned. Should I begin? I wish I could start building everything else, but I am going to build more and more heavy tanks rather than actual mechanized. And we've got a lot of oil, we've got steel, and we've got chromium, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. How long until our P-45 modern tank finally going to use all of this army experience that we've been waiting for to utilize for such a long time? Alright, well, we are going to go ahead and end this episode here, so thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you in our next adventure.